Perfect.
The week. Last time we were talking about, we're sort of getting to, diving in a little bit deeper about, black belts and whatnot. And I had a question about, you had mentioned that, it's a skill that we learn. We want to, as protectors or as men or whatever, that we're tapping into that carnal side, right? We feel good because we're developing this skill. So the question is, when it comes to, getting a black belt or learning jiu-jitsu, if it's just a skill set, then is everyone potentially able to get to that black belt level because it's just a matter of time? Or is it about performance? Or is it about like athletic ability? Like what goes into that?
Right.
Like how much is it skill? How much is it natural ability? How much is it just knowledge?
Well, I think it's different for everybody because everybody has a different capacity of learning and storage. Like me, for math, I got like a -2 terabyte. For jiu-jitsu, I might have a few terabytes. So
I love that you use a memory as
Memory
opposed to a computer memory reference.
Yeah, because I suck at computers. But I think it's obviously people like yourself who come from an athletic background, a grappling background, tend to do better naturally, right? Because they're athletes. Athletically, they can adapt. Athletically, they learn faster. But sometimes, too, for bookworms, computer nerds tend to learn really well, too.
Yeah.
Right? So it's really based on the individual. But now, when we're talking about those ones that say, oh, you're not a black belt or whatever, well, I mean, when it's a lower-ranked person saying that about someone else, they probably shouldn't because they're not a black belt.
Yeah.
And it's that specific person's coach, whoever that black belt is, felt like someone deserved the black belt. That's on them.
Yeah.
And it's just like anything else, like chefs is just like business people that are in the same industry. There's different levels of chefs. There's Anthony Bourdain's, and then there's like me. It's like up here, And then there's the Franklin barbecue. Like there's all of these guys that you can like kind of compare and contrast to.
Yeah.
Right? So I believe that everybody can get a black belt at one point or another. But some may take 10 years, some may take 15.
Yeah.
Some maybe even longer. But no matter what, there's always going to be that disparity in athleticism and technique where someone's always going to be better than the next black belt. Like you can't compare me to Andre Galvao.
Yeah.
That's almost like 2 decades more of training.
Yeah.
And like so many more world titles and like everything else.
Yeah, yeah.
But it doesn't negate the fact that I know my jiu-jitsu, right? It's just he's on another level because he's been doing it like 3 times as long as me.
Yeah, yeah. I've heard it been said that when you get your black belt, that's actually when your jiu-jitsu journey begins.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of times we hype up the black belt. Oh, it's this great goal. It's the thing that everyone is working towards because magically you're a master of it or whatever reason. But you talk to black belts and they all say unanimously we're just starting.
Yeah.
So
you're almost getting to the starting line.
Yeah. So when it comes to skill versus athleticism, is it purely a knowledge thing to get to that starting line of the black belt, or is it? Go ahead.
No. I see what you're saying. So now going back to that, I think it's a little bit of both because you still need to be able to hold the knowledge. There's some people that are great competitors, terrible coaches, and their knowledge is like minimal. But then there's other guys that don't compete, have competed minimally, but their knowledge is like way out here.
Yeah.
So it depends,
So it might be like 70% athletic, 30% knowledge.
Yeah, but it goes back to what Hoy said. Only 2 inches of the belt covers your ass. You got to cover the rest.
Yeah.
So it's really we're after knowledge. Forget the rank, forget everything. It's about the knowledge. And then 2, it's like it's one thing applying your knowledge in a tournament versus applying your knowledge in the training room. Right?
Yeah.
Because ultimately, for a live scenario on the street, this is what we're preparing for. Obviously, the ante is upped when you compete.
Yeah.
I think you could get some really good training for street scenarios in here too.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, definitely.
so that's kind of my thought on it.
Awesome. So theoretically, anybody who trains long enough will eventually get to that starting position of receiving their black belt.
Yeah, and going back to, as long as we chase the knowledge and not the belt, there's going to be those different levels of black belts that are.
Yeah.
But the goal is to always get the knowledge of getting there and the understanding to be able to teach it, you know?
Yeah. Awesome. Thanks, Afal. Appreciate it.
Yep, for sure, bro.